Hi, this is Amanda Simpson, and in this video we're going to be answering 3 probability problems 3 different ways. Our scenario for our problems is that radon concentrations in the air do not distribute normally. However, the natural log of these concentration measurements do distribute normally, with a mean of 1 and a standard deviation of 1/4. Our first problem states that what is the probability that the natural log of radon concentrations in an air sample is greater than 1.5? Now you can see down here that we have our pretty natural or normal curve. We have a mean of 1 and we're walking up in standard deviations by 0.25 or 1/4. I want to know the probability that it's greater than 1.5. Now 1.5 is exactly 2 standard deviations above the mean. Because it's exactly 2, we can use our SD rule. The SD rule states that this middle section in between 2 standard deviations is exactly 90, or not exactly, about 95% of our data. 95% of the information is between 2 standard deviations of the mean. We know that always. And we can use that to help us find our red section, to find the answer to our question. If the middle yellow is 95% and the entire thing is 100%, what's this outside green area? This outside green area must be 5% because it's the entire curve. The entire curve has to add up to 100. But I don't want that green area. I just want one of them. I just want this upper region up here. So I'll just cut it in half. Instead of having 2 tails, I want 1 tail. So 5 cut in half is 2.5. So the probability that the natural log of radon concentrations in an air sample is greater than 1.5 is 2.5%. Alright? Now, our next question states that what is the probability that a natural log of radon concentrations in an air sample is greater than 1.4? 1.4 is not a pretty standard deviation. It falls in between standard deviations. So we don't have an SD rule to cover this. Instead, today we're going to be using Matt Bogner's calculator. So Matt Bogner's calculator looks like this, and the link will be in the description. We have to change our parameters. Our mean is 1, and our standard deviation is 0.25, or 1/4. And the question asked greater than, so not less than, greater than 1.4. And we hit enter. And there we can see our pretty picture. Here's 1.4. It's shaded greater than. So our answer is 0.0548, or about 5.5%. Our third question is what is the probability that the natural log of radon concentration in an air sample is between 1.3 and 1.6? So 1.3 is about there, 1.6 is about here, and we want to know the probability that it's between those two numbers. So again, 1.3, 1.6 aren't pretty standard deviations, so we're going to need to use a calculator to solve this problem. This time we're going to be using David Lane's calculator. David Lane's calculator looks like this. And again, we're going to change our parameters. So our mean is 1 and our standard deviation is 0.25. And we want between 1.3 and 1.6. So once I hit enter, there's our pretty picture. It matches the one we drew. And down here is our area, or our probability, 0.1069. So our probability is equal to about 11%.